One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to Topless Taco Tuesday. Great to see everyone in the building, man. Shit. Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic this morning. I see all of you legends in the building. Always appreciate you guys. We also got a Motobomb raid right before the start of it, so I very much appreciate you, kind sir, for sending everyone over here, man. So what I have this labeled today is Trump returns to White House after Gaza peace deal, government shutdown day 14. And I do have a poll for you guys regarding the government shutdown. So make sure you guys answer the poll of how long you guys think this is going to last. And then deadly nor'easter and more. So of course, we may not be able to touch everything on that because we definitely are going to be focusing on a couple of different things here. So let me go ahead and show you guys the lineup. And also, one thing that's interesting that a lot of the news media has not been broken down that I want to present today. So what we're going to have to do is go through the live stream of a lot of it. So I have the live stream up and ready to go. Zelensky's actually speaking. There's a whole bunch of different things that are happening in the world. And we're going to play that shit for you guys right here, of course. But we're going to start the morning off with freed Israeli hostages receive ongoing support after Gaza captivity. Then we have New York Attorney General Letitia James' first appearance since the fraud indictment. So we have that for you guys as well. And then we're going to be talking about, well, on that live stream, there's Trump speaking on Air Force One as he's coming back to Washington, D.C. overnight. We have all that content for you guys, but before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the show, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because it's also free. But please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep the lights on, and it allows us to continue doing what we do. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. Sincerely. Follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes and not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, all that great shit. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for the Insane Wheels family. Make sure you guys go down into the video description box down below of any live stream video. And of course, there's the invite right there. So make sure you guys join up on that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups are of course going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, man, well, then we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I'll read it out. I get them like super chats in my email. So if you guys send anything in, I have my email up, and I'll see it right away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, great to see everyone in the building. We got Path Killer as well as Mountain Woman in the building, as well as Tiffany. Great to see you guys. Hopefully you're all enjoying your Topless Taco Tuesday so far. We got Chasing Ghost as well as Dean and Brother Steve. Shout out to you guys. We got Gary in here as well. We got Lovely Anu. I think that's how you say that, but great to see you in here. We got Dark Horse, Roll Tide Baby. Great to see you. We got Sick Bastard. Yes, sir. Great to see you as well. Papa Penguin, my man. All right, we're scrolling down, making sure we're all caught up with everybody. We got Frank in the building. What's the Palestinian protests going to start about? Well, we'll see. I mean, there's always something to protest about in politics, bro. Nothing is actually shocking to me anymore. We got Gunpowder Nitro in the building, as well as Carney's Ride saying like, subscribe, and become a member. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Freed Israeli hostages receiving ongoing support after Gaza captivity. Let's go ahead and see what is being presented here.
We are at the top of the hour here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. I'll be with you for...
It's kind of weird because the volume seemed a little loud yesterday on yesterday's show. And I'm like, man, like, is this... Let me know if this shit is too loud for you guys. And now, nothing has changed. My settings haven't changed. The exact same thing has gone on. I haven't updated my computer or shut down or anything. Everything's the exact same. And why is it now quiet? Weird. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped on the volume. So.
Several hours here, continuing to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories.
Go fast. Good morning.
In the mix. And of course, the biggest story today is the hostages returning home in the Middle East.
And that was regarding yesterday when he said the big news that happened today. Yes, the hostages yesterday, because this is being played from, I think this was 12 hours ago when this came out. So I wanted to go ahead and present this to you guys because obviously I wasn't live 12 hours ago. I was live 24 hours ago.
These are the images, and look at these moments here for families. 20 families today relieved after 2 years of absolute hell. And
nothing is worse than a fucking toothache. That super sucks. Let Lee know I feel for him on that shit. I've always dealt with teeth problems. It sucks.
Knowing if they would ever see their loved ones once again, the reunification and these moments happening earlier today. President Trump and his team able to get the deal done. Peace in Gaza right now. And again, just these images, very, very emotional. And we just saw it really play out throughout the day. And again, we will play out some of President Trump's speech, not only in...
Well, and they're not going to play it here, but because we already talked about that yesterday. We're not going to play any of that. If you guys want to watch any of that, that was yesterday. What we are going to do, though, is we're going to show what Trump is saying on Air Force One coming back this morning. We will be showing you guys that here in a little bit.
Israel, but also in Egypt a little bit
My brother,
later
Mount
this
High.
evening. Truly historic moments here. I want to now continue to talk about this big moment in our history and bring in our next guest to help break it all down. This is Brian Stern with Gray Bull Rescue, the founder of Gray Bull, who again brings home and tries to bring home as many people.
I got you, Steve Easy.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit. That's a motherfucking bullshit.
Denied.
As you can all over the world. Brian, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. We really appreciate it. And first off, when you saw those images today, I just wanted to get your reaction to it all.
Well, my team and I, we've been in and out of this region for 737 long days conducting rescues and evacuations of Americans stuck in all these different little wars, be it around Israel just recently or Lebanon or Syria, Gaza. We've rescued hostages ourselves, all these things. And today was the first time we were ever in Hostage Square where it was happy. Usually Hostage Square is a somber, heavy, painful, frustrating.
Yeah, you too, Motobomb. Hopefully you get what you needed to done. I know you said you have a busy morning for work today, so hopefully that's not too much, you know?
Angry kind of experience where it's very, very painful, lots of hurt, and lots of tears. And those tears are from families and friends and everything. And today,
what I always do for toothaches, just by the way, is what I do this every time I get a toothache. I just get some really good whiskey. And I'm not even joking. Like, it could be 9 o'clock in the morning. I woke up with a fucking toothache. I'll put a whole, like, mouthful, like a shot in my mouth, and then I'll just swish it around in my mouth for, I don't know, I'll swish it around for like a fucking minute. I won't even drink it. I swear to God, because when it's in your mouth that long and shit like that, I don't know. I just spit it out. But man, I'm telling you, it really does something.
It was absolute elation. There were lots of tears of joy. It was almost like a party, almost, which was odd because I've been there many times, and to see it like that, I never thought I'd see.
Yeah, no, truly. I mean, that we're talking about so many years, 2 years of really every update coming from the region. Just a very sad update. But today, like you said, very, very much different. And when we talk about this process of getting these 20 people back to their families, what were the moments, do you think, that led up to a really, in the last 48 hours, that planning and to make sure that everything would go to plan?
I don't really know if this motherfucker could even answer something like that, to be real.
I mean, there were hundreds of little things, and there are hundreds of little things that could have gone wrong.
Well, no shit. I don't need to hear that. I already know that. Let's see if we have any other imagery from this. Otherwise, we'll just move on. We don't really need to hear what you think about something. I really don't give a shit about what you think. I care about what the fact is, right? So we're just going to move on. We got New York Attorney General Letitia James' first appearance since fraud indictment. So let's go ahead and hear what the cope is going to be like over there in New York City.
And that's why I'm very excited to bring on stage someone else who has been fearlessly fighting back on the state level. Please welcome New York State Attorney General Tish James.
Oh my God, can they not play that so I don't get demonetized? Let me go ahead and mute this while they bring this person on. Letitia. Can we, don't, just play, just get to it. Why do we have to hear you and your stupid music? Okay, cool, there we go. We skipped it. No way. Is Steve, is he actually? It's so funny. I remember that he was trying to do some shit and then Trump comes in before he's even elected saying on like Truth Social, if you guys don't do this shit or whatever, fucking, it's going to be fucked or whatever the case is. And they listened to him, not no fucking Biden. It is super funny though. We reported it all the way through and I even called it back then. I go, watch, Biden's going to take fucking, he's going to take, when this actually eventually solves, he's going to take the credit for it. Watch. 80% because of him. What a fucking capper, bro.
Stop the cap.
He's a professional career capper.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. You don't love anybody. You love yourself. No one gives a shit about this chick. She. Just get it on with. Oh my goodness.
A few moments later.
Thank you.
Okay, get
Thank
to
you
it.
so much.
Cool.
I appreciate you and I've got your back.
No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Black women, shut up.
I love you more. So good evening.
I hate when people automatically go to race on something. Someone yelled in the crowd, like, and something black woman. They're coming after you because you're a black woman, blah, 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 all this shit. Stop the fucking cope.
Everyone. It is so good to be here with all of you, standing with my very good friend, my little brother, and one of the
Frank, I wouldn't be surprised if Oprah actually is there.
boldest voices in the history of New York politics, Zoran Mondani. We are here tonight because we are ready to turn the page on the cynical, broken politics of the past. We are ready to build a city that works.
No. Your current politics sounds like this. That's their current politics.
For the people who actually make it run, working people, the teachers, the nurses, the drivers, the home health aides, the firefighters, the police, not just for those at the top, but for working people who built this city from the ground up.
Iris, I did see that there was a cloud of smoke over there in Gaza, like right after the ceasefire was essentially, agreed upon. I did see that. It was within the first 24 hours. Now, what locks it in is 24 hours after in a 72-hour period, just so you know. So even if they did do something like that, they're still theoretically within their fucking what they can do, which I don't agree with. But it doesn't break a ceasefire. And I also, just a clarification there, I didn't see that there was any report of any death of Palestinians that day, by the way, just so you know. We got Hardwire 1% in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're chilling and enjoying your topless Taco Tuesday.
Twin crises, a crisis of affordability and a crisis of wage stagnation.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Rent is up, and yes, it is too damn high.
Yeah, that's because of your corrupt fucking city, not the rest of the fucking world. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest. It is very expensive, but this doesn't have to do specifically with anything. You can't point that at one specific thing, other than I can tell you that it's going to be extremely high in highly populated, dense cities. I came from Southern California, lived there for 29 years, and yeah, it's fucking expensive. But it's also commie central, just like it is over there in New York, just like it is in any of these fucking major cities.
Groceries cost more, and too many families are living from one paycheck to the next. And childcare is too expensive, and too many New Yorkers are leaving the city because of failed policies of this.
Oh, failed policies of your mayor and governor, right? Yeah, call it like it is. Not the Trump administration, because that's what she's going to say right here, because of the administration or some bullshit. Failed policies within your fucking local governments. Are you kidding me? Watch.
And too many New Yorkers are leaving the city because of failed policies of this city and state.
Because of this city and state. She actually said city and state, which would be mayor and governor. So she's ratting on herself. Interesting. And real quick, we got Mr. in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. And yes, make sure you guys hit that like button. It goes a long way. You guys don't have to like this fucking gash, but you guys can like it for me and my takes, man. I very much appreciate you guys.
And at the same time, we see powerful voices trying to silence truth and punish dissent, and yes, weaponize justice for political gain. We are witnessing the fraying of our democracy, the erosion of our system of government. This, my friends, is a defining moment in our history. Let us stand together to defend our rights, to protect every safeguard, every institution, every immigrant.
Well, remember, she just ratted on herself, literally. I thought she was going to say, because of these failed policies of this administration, which she did not say. She goes, the failed policies of the city and the state, which, yes, are her own constituents. So it's really interesting she said it like that.
Every norm and every rule of law.
Why is she talking like this? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God!
This is why people can't stand listening to your ass.
You see, I know what it feels like to be attacked for just doing your job.
Oh, shut up. Get a grip.
But I also know what it feels like to overcome adversity. And so I stand on solid rock.
You know how to get through different adversity through different DEI fucking programs, huh? Shit. Meanwhile, motherfuckers that are actually going through adversity don't get any type of fucking help.
And I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I
Oh
will not
my fucking God, dude.
Bruh.
Can we get this over with?
Denied.
capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
Shut up, bitch.
You come for me, you gotta come to all of us.
Jesus Christ, like as if any of these people actually give a shit about you in the first fucking place. Like as if anyone would take the fall in line of you. Yeah, right.
All of us. Every single one of us.
I believe
We're
you,
all in
Crystal.
this together.
100%. She is. Yep. What's up, Borland? Good morning. Great to see you over there from Washington over there.
You see, I've learned to stand on the shoulders of My ancestors who came before me and weathered the storm. And despite being seared with scars, they survived. And if they can survive, so will we.
Oh yeah, she definitely is a shady preacher, bro. For only her own self-interest. Like, would this bitch be having any type of public appearance or trying to talk to the public if she wasn't indicted? Of course not. These motherfuckers hide. Until they're pressed against the wall.
I've summoned their strength and their courage. And I will keep fighting for justice. I will keep fighting for New Yorkers. I will keep fighting the aggressive policies of Washington, D.C., and I will not stop.
I think Path Killer, that is a general consensus of the nation. Absolutely, bro. Just monkeying around, bro. Shit. What's up, Panelverse?
I won't give up, and I won't give in.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have no time to linger and focus on pettiness and revenge. We've got to press on, press forward, continue the journey, claim the victory.
Morons,
Triumph
mister.
over fear and courage. Courage, my friend, is resistance to fear.
Neighbor guy, good morning.
And so I fear no man.
Oh, my God. Of course you don't. You're another typical black woman that don't fear no man. And I don't need no man. Man, I'm going to tell you the truth. You need men to get you out of this situation right now. I'll tell you that. What up, Brother Slim?
I see
Shit.
the courage that is embodied in Zoran. And that's why I am supporting him. He is a leader fighting for a better future for this city. And he, like me, knows what it's like to be attacked, to be called names, to be threatened, to be harassed. And each and every day he wakes up with this fire in his belly because he wants to build a better New York.
Oh my goodness. Bro, this chick is going to give me emotional damage. We're going to move on from this bitch.
Emotional damage.
I think I actually have emotional damage now. We're going to have to light up our left-handed tobacco because, you know, we blame the left over here for my left-handed tobacco, counterclockwise tobacco use. So we're going to light this one that I was smoking right before the show. Feels good to be a G. All right, let's move on into the next. Let's do this. Boom. Check this out. So Caroline Levitt posts on X at 12:45 in the morning, saying 12:45 a.m. local time on Air Force One coming up on 36 hours of this trip, and President Trump is gaggling. I think that's what that is. With the press, hardest working POTUS ever. I agree with that.
So this was really a historic day, to put it mildly, right? Wasn't it amazing? Even that last meeting, when you see the heads of those countries, those are serious countries, right? But I thought it was fantastic. And seeing the so-called hostages, but those kids come back home and the way their parents just went crazy.
What do you say right there? So-called hostages? What does that mean?
Even that last meeting, when you see the heads of those countries, those are serious countries, right? But I thought it was fantastic. And seeing the so-called hostages, but those kids come back home and the way their parents just went.
Oh, because he wants to call them kids.
Went crazy. Your father would not be that way with you. He'd be okay, but he wouldn't be like that.
I would get a hug.
What's up, Blair? Good morning, kind sir. Great to see you. And yes, Carney says we need some donos. Yes, sir. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, kind sir, for saying something so kind.
A hug. Minor hug. Okay. Come on, Peter. Let's go. No, he would be. I'm only kidding. So, how you doing? Everybody okay? Everybody good?
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, it's a long day, right? It's a long day, and we did a couple of big ones. That first one was getting great reviews. I will tell you, there's a lot of meat in there. They're dissecting it and just playing it all night long. It's been very good. I think it's a very important day, because nobody thought this was possible. So it's very good, and the press has been very respectful. for a change. Doesn't happen often. Go ahead, Peter. Let's go.
Damn.
What does it tell you about the world that it seems like you got a much better reception in Israel than you would get in like New York City?
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a great reception in New York City.
I'm not saying that you don't, but it was
No, yeah, exactly. But he is right. Definitely get a lot more praise over there in Israel than here.
like it was on another level today.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It was on
incredible.
another level today,
I
he
went
said.
to the Bronx, and we had 31,000 people in a park in the Bronx in New York City during the campaign. 31,000.
Well, you got to remember they own the media. You know what I mean? Steve Easy, they own all of it. So, of course, it's going to be a hot topic for damn sure. And it's a...
Right, so it does appear that this feed...
It's an interesting... they have this not fantasy, but infatuation, right? With the whole Middle East concept. And hence why I really care, like why I initially got it involved in trying to understand it, because it is neat. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's kind of, I think, why it's a combination of not only them owning it, but then the controversy that goes around Israel itself keeps it on a hot topic. And then, of course, them on a nonstop war, and not only with one people, it's like on a 7-front ordeal. It is fascinating.
Frozen a little bit here. Actually, it's back. Let's continue.
Never.
But it was.
No, I didn't see that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely will probably end up seeing that shit sometime today or tomorrow or some bullshit. But yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
I don't know if you can see, there were people hanging out of every apartment balcony inside the Knesset.
It's okay. So I've heard, like, they said if you did Russia or if you did, lots of different combinations.
Yes, Mr. Remember always, Orange Man bad. We always get to revert back to that. Is Orange Man bad? Doesn't matter.
They say the Middle East blows it away. And I said, why? By experts. It's just thousands of years. Nothing's been done. It's the whole thing with the Arabs, Jewish people, this, that, everybody. It's just never been done before. And there's a certain mystery to the Middle East. I mean, look, it's only because of ratings. You're only as good.
And by the way, I don't think that that happened this time. Just so you know,
the ratings, right? If they weren't getting
ratings, it happened in his first term.
Fox and by the way, Trey is excellent.
He does a really good job. He and his whole team.
We did a very quick interview. I was running to the second one where we were pretty late.
Something that we heard from some Israelis on the ground.
Frank, I got you.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
They want to know how the peace holds when you are not the president. So 3 years from now...
I can't answer it. I know this, and you are all witness. We go, and I get 25,000, 35,000. If you look at a normal president, we'll get 300 people, and that's not bad. They'll go to a ballroom, they get 300 people. We get 35.
Brother KP in the building saying good morning to everybody. Great to see you in the building. Always appreciate you. And yes, make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you for your laborious work on hitting that like button.
We had 117,000 people in New Jersey. And so I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I'll be out there fighting for whoever it may be.
Did you tell Bibi beforehand that you were going to go off script and try to get him?
I told him I didn't want to bring up the pardon, but it was just a perfect spot. It was good timing, wouldn't you say? Because he was getting a very good hand, and when they stopped, I said, why didn't you give this guy a pardon? If he didn't get a good hand, I would have done that. But the timing was... What do you think, Katie? Good timing for that one, right?
I think people thought it was pretty funny, yes.
It worked out well. It's a little risque. I'm bringing up a pretty sore subject in Israel, but the people were fantastic.
Well, and you know what? I really appreciate you saying that, because I also know that is true. You know what I mean, Steve? So thank you for that. Goes a long way for me.
Mr. President,
and with me.
Spoke to Egypt.
You can ask more questions this one. Go ahead.
I have some good questions, I promise.
You do. You were very nice to me. Go ahead.
You talked to President El-Sisi, and you spoke about in that room how Egypt has so little crime, and you said it's all about leadership. You talked about...
Well, they're very strong on crime.
You talked about some of the governors.
You wouldn't believe how strong, but they are very strong, but they don't have the kind of crime. They don't have the violent... They may have other kinds of crime, but they're violent crime. You can actually walk down a park and not get mugged or hit over the head with a baseball.
Do you want to see some U.S. governors be more like Egypt?
No, I want them to be stronger and tougher and not allow us to have record-breaking crime in Chicago and different places. I want them...
Right, exactly.
...to admit they have crime. So there were 4,000 shootings in Chicago.
Well, yeah, see, they downplay their own crime. Like, oh, the crime rates are down right now. What are you talking about? It's at an all-time low, blah, blah, all this shit, which it's not. all those numbers are so easily forged. Yeah, it definitely isn't. I can watch this on an anecdotal level on fucking Instagram Live, watching motherfuckers roll around in Chicago, LA, all these different fucking places, and watch some crazy ass shooting or some shit go down every single day. Like, it's crazy. It's unacceptable.
Chicago murders over a fairly short period of time, meaning like a year and a half, I think. 4,000 murders. Many, many thousands of you're hit by a bullet but don't die. I want him to say we have a problem. Could Trump bring in the troops and solve the problem like I did in D.C., like I'm doing in Memphis? Have you seen the crimes way down in Memphis? So we've only been there 7 days. Way down.
The courts have been standing in your way here as it's held up.
Are
you
lower
thinking about
courts
using the Insurrection Act?
The lower, well, I could use it if I wanted to. I could use it. Look, that's a very simple answer.
Well, he has said regarding the Insurrection Act a long time ago that this shit, like, is not off the table. Like, he said this shit like over a month ago, maybe a couple of months ago. He was like, listen, this shit ain't off the table. And I believe him.
Allowed to use the Insurrection Act. In fact, that was
exactly
on Stephanopoulos today, his Slopodopoulos show. They asked sloppy Chris Christie about the Insurrection Act. He said, well, if you're talking about the Insurrection Act, he's got the absolute right to use that. And he said a couple of things that were good. He said 50% of the presidents that served in office have used the Insurrection Act. And the Insurrection Act, according to all of them, said it can't even be challenged. I don't have to go there yet because I'm winning on appeal. You know, you're right. We're losing with radical.
Well, yeah, exactly. So if that appeal doesn't go through, then he'll just invoke the Insurrection Act.
Radical left judges, generally, radical left judges, and we're winning on appeal. So we'll see what happens.
I'll be speaking to Governor J.B. Pritzker tomorrow. Do you have any messages or questions for him?
Well, I think he should beg for help because he's running a bad operation and he's letting people be killed in his city because he doesn't want in Chicago. And I love Chicago. Chicago can be a great city again, and very quickly. I would have Chicago cleaned out, the criminals removed, we would remove them. You know, in D.C., we took out 1,700 career criminals, hard-line criminals. That's why it's so good right now. D.C. setting records the other way. It's never been so safe. And the restaurants have never done better business. They're opening up.
That is, I'm probably absolutely true. But D.C. being that it's unique and not an actual state, you know, and city that has, like, for instance, a governor and as well as a mayor, you know, it's not treated the same. So it was a little bit unique for him to be able to do a lot of those things uncontested. And now going into these governors' backyards and doing it, you know, the governor's point of views are, well, I should be coming to you asking if I need that, and you're not giving me that option kind of ordeal. So
they were closing restaurants, now they're opening new restaurants. I can do the same thing on a larger scale in Chicago, and Pritzker should ask me to do it. But when you mention insurrection, I mean, you were the one that mentioned, one of you mentioned insurrection. I mean, I could do that, and many presidents have. 50%, Katie, 50% of the presidents have used the insurrection because they don't want to go through this stuff where somebody said there's no crime and 4,000 people got shot. You know, right?
Good point there, Papa Penguin.
You don't have to convince because she tends to be on the conservative side.
Do you have an update on the Schumer shutdown and Democrats still continuing to refuse to vote for
shutdown? I mean, it's, look.
Wow, Steve Easy says, I've seen a few videos of people talking, taking Trump thanking Trump for helping Memphis. Kids have been able to play on the block for the first time in years. Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible.
They want to have health care for illegals that have come in. Many of these people are criminals, and they want to have health care. And what it also does is, you know, we have nobody coming in now. We have it really locked down. If they start winning cases like this, we're going to have a rush on our border because they're going to come up for health care and the other things that they give away. Look at Newsom. Education, health care, he gives everything away. People come up for that. People come from other countries for that. So we can't have it. We can't have that. We have people coming into our country, but they're coming in legally.
Do you have any more meetings?
We have the strongest border we've ever had. But they are coming in, Katie. They're coming in legally through a process.
Any planned meetings with House and Senate leadership on the Republican side to figure out this week?
With them, I talk to them all the time. John Thune's been great, and Mike has been great. Speaker, he's been great. Those two guys have done a great job.
And we're going to see Johnson or Mike, we're going to see him actually speak here in a little bit after Trump. That's what we're going to be watching after this.
But we're dealing with...
And that just happened like 45 minutes ago.
A bunch of radical left lunatics that have lost an election in a landslide. They don't even admit that. I mean, think of it. They lost the election 2,700 in terms of counties to 525. That's where the map is entirely, right? They lost all 7 swing states. They lost the popular vote. And then they say, oh, the election was close. She says the election was a landslide.
Of course, and we know that. Kamala Harris is just coping. And we all know that. You don't have nothing to prove on that.
But they lie. You know, they can take any subject like Newsom does. He says, oh, no, Los Angeles is doing great. If we didn't go into Los Angeles, they would have had to cancel the Olympics. And the head of law enforcement said, and he said it very strongly, we could not have handled this if Trump didn't bring those people in. 2 weeks later, he said, oh, we could have, because he was told to say that. But we did a great job in Los Angeles. You wouldn't have, first of all, you lost half of it with the fires. And this would have been, I think this would have been maybe even worse. They had no control. When we went in, the police had totally lost control. And he admitted it. The head, whoever he is, whatever his name is, he admitted it very strongly.
What's your reaction to President Bill Clinton giving you credit for ending the war in Gaza?
I've always liked Bill Clinton. I've always gotten along with him. He used to be a friend of mine. Came to my wedding, you know. So did she.
Damn. Hillary showed up to his wedding. I didn't know that shit.
Oh shit!
Not surprised, though, actually.
A lot of people don't know that. But
I didn't know that.
No, he's, I've always liked him. I thought it was very nice, actually. And what is he doing? He's telling the truth. Because nobody else has been able to do it. Talking about the Middle East, yes.
Mr. President, I wanted to ask you about your conversations with world leaders today. You said that everybody is unified over your plan, but we heard from President Sisi calling for a two-state solution, an independent Palestinian state.
I'm talking about something very much different. I'm talking about rebuilding Gaza. I'm not talking about single state or double state or two-state. We're talking about the rebuilding of Gaza.
What's the road ahead for governing Gaza? Because
a lot of people like the one-state solution. Some people like the two-state solutions. We'll have to see. I haven't commented on that.
How do you see bridging that gap, though? Because you have the Arab countries being very clear about
what I think is right, but I'd be in coordination with other states and other countries.
How do you satisfy?
Well, you got to also remember Gunpowder Nitro back in the 90s, especially. Trump wasn't a Republican. You know, he was a Democrat.
Some people might say
also something to remember.
It feels premature declaring peace for the whole Middle East. 3,000 years of peace and so on.
You want more people to be killed? What do you want, another?
But that is very, very true. It's one big ass club and you ain't in it. That's right. Me neither.
300,000-400,000 people to be killed? Is that what you're looking for?
But in terms of the risks in Gaza, we're already seeing factions.
So you've been let them fight on for another couple of years?
What's up, Outlaw Preacher? Good morning. Hopefully you're enjoying your topless Taco Tuesday. Great to see you in the building.
Let some more buildings fall down on top of people and keep it going. No, we did it the right way. We did it. I think our timing was perfect, actually. You don't really mean that. You mean you want them to fight on, right?
I'm just asking about the phase 2 of the negotiations and how confident you are that those can get underway in the two.
We have a lot of power. That was a power room. Those people, those are the richest countries. I think now with tariffs, I think we're the richest country in the world, actually, the United States. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. But those are, really...
Well, we're actually taking in more than that, and it's like trillions of dollars. So I'm not really sure why he's talking on I don't know.
Seriously rich countries, and they can handle it.
Some of those players, particularly Erdogan, could they also help in the war between Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, Erdogan can. He's respected by Russia. Ukraine I can't tell you about, but he is respected by Putin. And he's a friend of mine, you can see. Why? I get along with the tough ones. I don't get along with the weak ones. I get along with the tough ones. I don't know what that is, but Erdogan's been great with me. When NATO has a problem with Erdogan, which they often do, they call me to talk to him. And I've never failed in working it out immediately. Is that right? How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good?
How you doing?
Should Caroline be replaced? Huh?
That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, she should have fucking said absolutely not. That is his pick. So you want to honor his pick and say absolutely not. I think she's doing fantastic. I would have said that straight up, but she's like, it's up to you, sir.
And I've never failed in working it out immediately. Is that right? How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good?
I'd be like, hell yeah.
Should Caroline be replaced?
No.
Huh?
That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Nobody wants
That's
to
right.
say that for me?
Look.
Great job. Thank you, Kate.
That face, and those Katie, and those lips, they move like a machine gun, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
They really are. Okay, what?
Do you want to comment on the leaders you consider weak who are in that room?
No, I won't comment.
That chick is just a hater, by the way, Tiffany.
But you know probably who they are. But,
Just briefly before we...
I don't know really. Yeah, there were a couple in the room, but overall, I thought that was an amazing group of people. I don't think they've ever seen an assemblage like that between power, money, et cetera, et cetera. There's never been anything like that. So we're up, but you know what? I have to, because
20 billion for what in Argentina?
the plane is going to take off. But
Are you
we'll
hosting
come back
Zelensky
there.
at the White House on Friday?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good time. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so now we're going to move on into a few things. There's a few things going on. There is a big protest going on in Belgium right now. Let me go ahead and play that first, and then we'll go ahead and get into what Speaker Mike Johnson says regarding the government shutdown. But I do this does fall straight into geopolitics, what's happening around the world. So Belgium protests amid trade union strike.
Several dozens of people, at least, there surrounding all of those law enforcement and police vehicles. And we can also see that some of these protesters and demonstrators, it looks to be that they are being detained, possibly arrested, taken into custody. It's a little hard to tell who is a demonstrator at this time. There's a lot of masks and a lot of helmets being worn, but you can see that a lot of people have turned out to this area. Now, this is a police being seen dispersing protesters as Belgian trade unions on Tuesday staged a demonstration and a national strike against austerity measures planned and implanted by the Belgian government. It's going to be affecting the public sector, which includes schools, administration, and transport, as well as the private sector. I'm going to go ahead and lift up the audio briefly so we can listen in.
It's going to sound like chaos. Jesus. What's up, Shazzy? Great to see you in the building, by the way. Always appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying. For you, I think it's the afternoon, maybe getting close to evening time. Great to see you in here. Right, exactly. So 4:45 p.m. So that's getting into perfect, almost evening time. That's awesome. I guessed it somewhat correctly there. All right, so I'm sure that this goes on for a bit. You're going to see the chaos happening, but we're going to skip ahead nonetheless. I just wanted to show you guys what was happening here because it is a chaotic scene. Oh, shit. They're popping off. They're doing the move. They're pushing them out. Hold the line. Bro, they have lost control completely. Europe is gone. Kind of like how the Middle East started off as a Christian area. That whole area was all Christian before it was, radically taken over by, the crazy spread of Islam, right? Yeah, basically the same shit has happened to Europe. Too late. Yo, we got Shazzy coming in, by the way. Shazzy Bear for the £5, by the way. Not no fucking $5. This is £5. So I very much appreciate you, Shazzy. Same for that grift train. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you very much, Shazzy, for that. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on into Speaker Mike Johnson speaking not only probably about 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour. Oh, yeah, so it is about an hour ago. A little bit longer, hour 45, because we've been live already for 45 minutes. Makes sense. All right. Here we go.
Well, good morning, everyone. Today, we'd be remiss if we did not make some remarks about the
What's up, Rabbit of Chaos? Great to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying your Topless Taco Tuesday as well.
extraordinary
Or you're thirsty. No, that's Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, I guess we'll keep with Topless Taco Tuesday.
historic moment, or many moments, that happened yesterday in Israel. The world's eyes are still fixed on Israel. Where President Trump is welcoming home now the last of the hostages who've endured 2 years in Hamas captivity. I thought it was remarkable. I saw a video last night of one of the released hostages who made the point that as soon as the election was held in November in the United States, Hamas began to treat him and his fellow hostages much better. They fed them better. They respected them more. They changed the tone of how they treated them. They no longer spit upon them, as he said in his own words. Elections have consequences. And he said or implied that the Hamas was counting on Kamala Harris to win and not President Donald
Steve Posey. Shit. Great to see you.
But thankfully for the whole world, that didn't happen. And this is an historic moment. It deserves enormous credit and recognition on the world stage. It's truly, truly historic. For generations, we have aspired to peace in the Middle East, everyone around the world, and now President Trump has delivered it. I'm going to make an announcement today. It's the announcement in the U.S. that was made in the Knesset yesterday. I'm proud to tell you that together with my friend Speaker Ohana of the Israeli Knesset, the equivalent of our Congress, we're going to embark upon a project together to rally speakers and presidents of parliaments around the world so that we will jointly nominate President Donald J. Trump for next year's Nobel Peace Prize. No one has ever deserved that prize more, and that is an objective fact. As Speaker Ohana said before the Knesset yesterday, quote, "Whoever saves one life, it is though he has saved an entire world." That's what some of the rabbis there would say, some of the sages he noted would say. It's an indisputable fact that no president has undertaken the work of saving lives and pursuing peace with such determination and with such remarkable...
Yo, real quick, we got Mama Iron Ranger in the building as well. Always appreciate seeing you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well.
Remarkable success as President Trump.
And King Blackout.
Under his leadership,
good morning,
we're witnessing
sir.
the dawn of a new golden age, not just for America, but for the entire free world.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man.
By these actions and strong leadership. American strength is good for free people around the world, as we say always. And peace through strength is maintained. There will be more to share on this in the weeks ahead, but today marks the start of this effort that we'll embark upon together, this joint parliamentary project. And I'm honored to do it alongside our ally and my counterpart in Israel in leading that effort. Welcome to day 14 of the Democrat government shutdown. It's 2 weeks of Democrats in Congress inflicting untold pain on the American people for nothing other than pure politics, as we've explained at this podium every day of the shutdown. Today, Senate Democrats will have their 8th
and we are on day 14 now.
Chance to end this mess.
Did you guys vote in the poll? I put a poll out there. I asked the question, how much longer do you think the government, basically the government shutdown will go for? And I said 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, or 2+ months. I want to see what your guys' votes are. And we'll see what the votes are here in a few minutes, but I'll allow you guys to vote up, and then we'll see what the poll comes out with.
Passing our clean, nonpartisan continuing resolution, the government funding bill that would end all of this immediately. Over 3 weeks ago, the House passed that bill, and you all know the details of it. It is completely clean. There are no policy changes, no partisan riders, no gimmicks or tricks at all. All it does is keep the lights on at the current funding levels for a few extra weeks while we complete the normal appropriations process. Now compare that to the Democrats' counterproposal. They're demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending paid for by American taxpayers. And I want you to be specific. I want us to be specific. I want you to note what that counterproposal includes, because we've not yet gone into all the details of it, because it's large and very absurd. But here's some of the highlights of this. It would reverse common sense reforms that Republicans made in the Working Families Tax Cut that keep illegal aliens off taxpayer-funded health care. This is a fact. Page 57, Section 2141 of their counterproposal, as we've been posting.
Well, it definitely could easily at this point, Steve Posey. That's why I put it out that long, because, I mean, at this point, it looks like there's no real give or take on either side here. I don't see this getting disputed like anytime super soon. Now, I hope it does, obviously, for our own people's sake, federally employed people, all these things. I don't want people to miss out. But unfortunately, one side is saying, no, we want more, and we're not going to budge.
Everywhere. And it would, they would add the illegal aliens, non-citizens back to
shit,
taxpayer-funded benefits. It would
wow.
cost taxpayers nearly $200 billion. They would also remove a very reasonable and moderate.
So, do you mean a month in total, Blair, or a month from now?
Modest work requirement that we put on able-bodied young men with no dependents. As we've said, they should not be riding the wagon and taking Medicaid. That is intended for vulnerable populations, the elderly, disabled, and young pregnant women, for example, and not young able-bodied men without dependents who are playing video games. We put that into the law because it's common sense. Their counterproposal would reverse that. So taxpayers would be funding them again. They would make in their counterproposal.
Oh, Shazzy, I wasn't invited. What happened? You dropped the ball, man. Ah, shit.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Hey, hopefully you have a wonderful dinner over there. Always appreciate you hanging out with us. And I'm always glad that you're listening as well. Appreciate
Permanent
that.
COVID-era Obamacare subsidies without any income caps or any other reforms at all. They would make that permanent. That would cost taxpayers an estimated $358 billion. They would take away the $50 billion that we put into the law to support rural hospitals. They would remove that. And they would send $500 million to liberal news outlets by refunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on a CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI+ democracy grants in the Western Balkans.
Oh my God. I'm not surprised.
They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa. And $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. We are not doing that. These are unserious proposals from unserious people, and they're playing games while real Americans are being harmed adversely by the shutdown. Yesterday, I read you an excerpt from President Obama's speech during the 2013 shutdown.
Yeah, you can't feed your family on an IOU. You're absolutely right.
When he advocated for a clean CR to reopen the government and resume negotiations.
That sounds
It sounded very familiar. Democrats cheered him on back then, including Chuck Schumer. He himself said some Republicans' refusal to support a clean CR back then was, quote, the politics of idiocy. Take him at his word. So yesterday we decided to do a little count of the number of times that Chuck Schumer has supported continuing resolutions just since he became the leader of the Democrats in the Senate in 2017. That number came out to 29 out of 30 continuing resolutions. That's how many times he wholeheartedly, enthusiastically supported CRs enacted into law. That's a 97% support rate. What's changed? Well, this time his job is on the line. And we've explained this very clearly because everybody can see the obvious political motivation here behind his decision to shut the government down right now. He helped us avert a shutdown in March by doing the right thing and supporting virtually the identically same continuing CR that we're offering today.
I couldn't even tell you, Warland, why they would want to. And like Mr. Mister says, we all know these are money laundering schemes. Exactly. You think that these millions and millions of dollars are actually going to this one thing? Yeah, it's going to be funneled through it and it's going to be there. But most likely that money is not going to what it is actually intended for, right?
And his radical base went crazy and they haven't forgiven him for it. That's why Chuck Schumer is opposed to it today. That's what changed. It's very obvious. This government shutdown is plainly and simply an exercise in image rehabilitation. This is an attempt at image rehabilitation for Chuck Schumer. So selfishly, completely about himself, he is shutting the government down to hurt other people. He needs to show a fight against President Trump so he can keep his left base happy through the next election cycle. And how do we know that? Well, his record shows the obvious truth about it. Again, look at the numbers. Chuck Schumer supported CRs to help avert a government shutdown 29 out of 30 times as leader of his party. And he emphatically supported every single CR enacted into law since 2017, except for one. And of course, you won't have to do much research.
Wow, Steve Posey, is that for real? I had no idea about that. That's very, very interesting.
To figure out who was in the White House during that time. If you said Donald Trump, you'd be right. And it doesn't take a genius to see that's exactly the same reason why he's doing this causing...
That's right. So there's no bad news, huh?
Antics today. So what you'll also notice about the CRs is that they become routine. It's the routine thing to do around here. It's Washington's bad habit. And a CR was meant to be a temporary measure. Is meant and designed to just keep the government open and funded for the people while Congress finishes its work on a final budget. And that's not happened in a long time. CRs have become too common. It's the status quo. It's not the way the founders intended for this process to work. The appropriations process was envisioned to be an exercise in good stewardship. They wanted the members of Congress to have open, transparent, bipartisan, line-by-line debate so that we could spend the people's money wisely. And that's precisely what Republicans are so eager to return to and what we have achieved. We are pushing that boulder uphill, as I've said. And for the first time since 2019, both chambers, House and Senate, have made real progress towards that stewardship goal. But we just need a little more time to finish it. That's the only thing the House passed CR does. It's a clean, short-term, nonpartisan continuance of funding so that that process can work out. Now, you've all heard Chuck Schumer demand that Republicans have...
Yeah, at this point, maybe I should advocate for them to be shut down for the whole 61 days. I mean... Let's see that number climb. 58, 59. Oh shit, 60. We got one last fucking day.
On the negotiating table. Well before. This is an important answer to some of the questions that you anticipate you'll ask later because it comes up in every press conference. Why won't you negotiate? Here's the point. We were already doing that. Before the Democrats recklessly shut down the government for their own political purposes, Republicans and Democrats were already engaged in responsible, open, bipartisan processes to find answers to these problems. And what Chuck Schumer means when he says that he wants us to negotiate is that he has demanded, and he said it publicly, I can't believe he says the quiet parts out loud sometimes, but he wants a backroom deal. He wants a backroom deal that the American people will never see. He literally has said, we need the top 4 leaders to go into a room and work this out. Why does Chuck Schumer say that? Because that's how he's operated for decades. He's been in Congress since 1980. I was 9 years old in the 3rd grade when Chuck Schumer got here, okay? He is the broken status quo. We are trying to break the status quo so government works better for the people. And Chuck Schumer is resistant to that because he can't even imagine the way the founders intended for this to work. He doesn't want this open, everybody involved, all members, bottom-up process. He wants 4 people to go in a back room and just make this deal and hoist it down upon everybody else. I'm not participating in that. Chuck Schumer doesn't like that. He doesn't like that we're trying to get Washington to work again because he doesn't know how to operate.
Okay, I just typed it in on ChatGPT because Papa Penguin was asking the question, like, where did you see that before? Okay, I typed in on ChatGPT. I'm going to read you guys what I put in. What happens if the government shuts down for 61 days? If the U.S. federal government were to shut down for 61 days, it would have serious and escalating effects across nearly every sector of the economy and government operations. Here's a detailed breakdown by phase. Which days, time of collapse. I want to see 60 first. Beyond 60 days, severe long-term impacts, market and debt confidence, longest ever shutdown, 61 plus days, could trigger a minor recession as federal spending halts ripple through private sectors. Federal, moral, and retention, I don't care about that. Public safety, state and local strain. Nope, it doesn't actually say that particularly. Interesting. Nope, it just says how bad of effect it would be. Let me ask it in particular about the funding.
Great in that kind of system. And we're certainly not going to allow the American people to be taken hostage for his political gain. I'm going to hand it off first here to the indomitable Dr. Virginia Fox. She is the chairwoman of our House Rules Committee. We call her the Iron Lady of the House. I know she has a lot to say about Democrats' obstruction. She's going to lay out some of the indisputable facts of this government shutdown. Dr. Fox?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thanks for your continued work in calling attention to the facts. You remain consistent and concise in explaining to the American people that the Democrats have shut down the government. And thank you to the members of our leadership team and members of the entire conference who've been equally as vocal and engaged. I've listened to the arguments the Democrats have been making since they shut down the government, and I cannot help but shake my head in utter disgust every time. They continue to lie like a rug. They're trying desperately to change the conversation and deflect because they know they're in the wrong and they've dug themselves into a deep, deep hole. We've now entered day 14 of their government shutdown, and as the days go on...
Okay, I specifically asked this, just so you guys know. Hold on. I said, do all cuts, including personal, become permanent? It says, excellent question, and it's an important one. No, not all cuts, including personal pay cuts or furloughs, become permanent during or after a government shutdown, even at 61 days. Let's break it down. And then it comes up with a whole bunch of how they're free, like how their funds get frozen, what's fully repaid, what's not, usually repaid, partial rebounds, permanent loss, possibly yes, partially yes, on certain different types of like federal employee pay or the Social Security benefits, federal contractors, economy. So it shows on a permanent loss, Federal employee pay? No. Federal benefits, Social Security and Medicare? No. So no permanent loss. And I'm going to say, again, even in 61 days of a government shutdown. This is kind of the shit that I do when I'm off stream all the time. Yes, even in a 61-day government shutdown, personal pay cuts for federal employees still are not permanent. Just so you know. Anyways, all right, back to this.
More America.
Let's go ahead and move this on from this chick, and we're going to see if... so Johnson does come back up, and we do want to hear what he has to say here.
The radicals, the leaders openly
Okay, I don't care what you have to say. There we go. Questions?
It's a great question. Manu asks, why don't I change my strategy? I don't have any strategy, Manu. I'm doing the right thing, the clearly obvious thing, the traditional thing. That's exactly what Chuck Schumer voted for in March of this year and gave impassioned speeches was the right and only thing. I don't have anything to negotiate.
What's up, Chris Leach? My man, good morning to you. Great to see you. Hopefully you all are enjoying your morning, and as well as hitting that like button for me would definitely help out. You guys don't have to like the government shutdown or the craziness around the world, but you guys can like it for me and my takes and for what I do here, man. So I appreciate you guys.
I'll say this again to everyone here. We did not load up the temporary funding
bill
with
that,
any Republican priorities or partisan priorities at all. I don't have anything that I can take off of that document to make it more palatable for them. So all I am able to do is come to this microphone every day, look right into the camera, and plead with the American people, as Chairwoman McClain said, to call your Senate Democrats and ask them to do the right thing. We're not playing games. They're playing a game. We're not.
You would have just been misinformed. That's it.
Not. The strategy is to do the right and obvious thing and keep the government moving for the people.
Why would close to their position?
Their position is this, Manu. Their position is they want to spend $1.5 trillion in your tax dollars to fund nonsense overseas. They want to give $200 billion to illegal aliens. We are not going to do that. We're not going to do it. The American people don't want us to do it. And they're using this for partisan political purposes to give themselves cover. They don't want the Marxists to kick. Chuck Schumer doesn't want to get a Marxist candidate challenge, AOC or someone else. Mamdani is probably going to be sadly, shockingly, the mayor of New York City. Marxism is on the rise. Hey, this is not your father's Democratic Party, everybody, okay? They're turning into communists, openly. And so Chuck Schumer does not fashion himself as a communist just yet, so he's got to show a fight to these people.
It doesn't suck. Dude, I mean, listen, I'm wrong about shit all the time, so, I mean, it is what it is, right? But I always just go based off of whatever the fact is, and now I just change my position. That's it.
That's what this is about. I'm not playing his game, Manu. I cannot go in and say, oh, gee, Chuck, what can I offer you? You know what? Maybe we'll just send $10 billion overseas to LGBTQ plus, initiatives in, the Horn of Africa or Malaysia or wherever you want to do that. No. We're not wasting taxpayers' dollars. Check.
Mr. Speaker, good morning. Thank you. You said
I don't really know what that means, Papa Penguin.
Week that you would swear in Adelita Grajova whenever she wants. She's written a letter to your office. You've not sworn her in.
Yeah.
Understand about pro forma session?
Yes.
Doesn't your resistance to not swear her in add fuel?
Real quick, since he is going to go on for another couple of minutes, I've got to take a leak real bad. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll wrap up the show. Stick around for the raid, by the way. We're going to be raiding our buddy Carney's ride. He's live right now, so make sure you guys stick around for that. But I am going to play this last bit of what Johnson's speaking on, and then we'll take it from there.
The fire that this is about the Epstein file.
No. Let's talk about Grajova and Epstein. Okay. Once more for everybody. Everybody in Congress, I think, is for maximum transparency of the Epstein files. That is underway right now. Let me point out before I go further, all of the files were in the possession of the Biden-Harris Department of Justice for 4 years. Every single thing that we're talking about right now was in their sole possession. They could have released it. They could have done anything. Ro Khanna, all the Democrats who are jumping up and down making noise about this, didn't say a peep about it for 4 years. I don't know why. But this is another partisan manufactured thing. Is it a serious problem? Yes. I've sat with the victims, some of the ladies who bravely have come forward and talked about the horrors that they sustained because of traffickers on Epstein Island and all the things he was involved in. Everybody involved in that should have the full weight of justice descend upon their head. And we're all for that. We want every single person who had anything to do with that to be exposed. But there's as many as 1,000 victims estimated. That's what the victims said. There may be 1,000 women who were made to suffer these unspeakable harms because of this. Many of them were underage at the time. They have not all chosen to come forward like some of these other brave women have for obvious reasons. And we have to make sure that when the files are released, their names are redacted so they don't suffer further harm. We have a duty and a responsibility. You can't just wave a wand and just open the floodgates. You have to make sure that the victims don't suffer additional harms. That's all we've said. Let's make sure it's done the right way. That's underway, by the way. The House Oversight Committee asked the Democrats and Republicans on that committee who are working on that vigorously. As I said, some of the biggest, bulldogs in Congress are on that committee, and they're all joined together in a bipartisan fashion, digging through and releasing documents, 34,000 documents.
What'd I miss?
So far, and more on the way. In fact, as I noted a couple of days ago, the attorneys for the House Oversight Committee during the shutdown are still doing work. They were in New York City combing through the Epstein estate files. By the way, that was never even mentioned or anticipated in the discharge petition, for those of you who are following all the details of this. So more is coming out. We're for all of it coming out as soon as possible. The only thing we want to make sure of is that the innocent victims are protected, and I think we have a responsibility to do that. With regard to Grijalva, my dear
$30 billion, Jesus Christ!
Our dear friend from Louisiana, Julia won a special election back in 2021. It was in March, as I remember. Speaker Pelosi took 25 days to administer the oath of office to her. Now, no Democrats, jumped up and down and screamed about that. Nor do I recall any Republicans, because everybody understood this is the process of the House. You do it as soon as you're able to do it. Ms. Grijalva won her election, and credit to her. She's going to fill her father's seat. I congratulate her. We're happy for her to serve. I'm going to be happy to administer the oath to her, as I am to every member who wins a dual, who is duly elected to this body. It's a great honor. But she won her election after the House was out of session. So we've not had a full session. She deserves to have all the pomp and circumstance that everybody else does. She deserves to have a full House of members and go down and do the speech and have her family and friends in the balcony. That hasn't been scheduled because we haven't had that session yet. As soon as Chuck Schumer opens the government, as soon as Mark Kelly and Senator Gallegos, the two senators from Arizona, Ms. Grijalva's state, will go and join with 3 others and open the government, we're happy. We'll have that as soon as we get back to business. But we have to get back to business. They have to open the government. I don't know how else I can answer that question. Yes, sir.
Ahead of some of the planned protests this weekend, and in light of some of the...
I think this is one of his last questions. Yep, it is. It's got to be his last question right here.
We've seen out of Chicago, federal agents shooting fake leaders with pepper balls and arresting journalists. Where's the limit for you on what's acceptable conduct in federal law?
I definitely agree with you, Bob. If you're gonna play that game with this shit, you definitely got to tighten up your story, for damn sure. No kidding. You got to sell it better than that.
And when is it incumbent on Congress to step up and demand oversight?
To demand oversight on federal law enforcement? Well, I've not seen them cross the line yet, and that we have committees of jurisdiction who have that responsibility, but it's not risen to that level. What I've seen is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting ICE down there. I mean, it's getting really ugly.
Well, naked people in Oregon is not uncommon. But I guess if a whole big collective of them are, like they were over there with ICE and shit like that, that is going to make news, and it is weird. But that's standard operation over there, bro. They're fucking weird sometimes. A lot of like Portland and all that shit. Good luck.
They have.
I've been there, done that many of times. You know what I mean? Meaning I've experienced even being there and experienced the people day to day. It's definitely an interesting place.
Physically assaulted officers.
Same thing with even Seattle, Washington. Got to say there's some interesting folk up there too.
People have been arrested, okay? This is serious business. And ICE and the valiant, brave, patriotic Americans who step up to serve in these dangerous law enforcement positions deserve our respect and our support. And any elected member of this body should be vocally supporting law enforcement. You're supposed to be on the side of the good, not the crazy radicals. Look, I was a First Amendment lawyer. I understand there's a religious liberty defense.
I truly don't understand why anybody would, on any type of thing, whether you're sticking up for, obviously, PDF files or violence or any of this shit, I don't understand why anybody would stick up for any of these type of people. Fuck them all. You know what I mean? Fuck them all, dude. Yeah.
Understand free speech. We vigorously protect the right to free speech, but you cannot assault law enforcement officers. And there is a line that has to be maintained. It's not risen to the level of Congress yet, but we're watching that closely. And the Republican Party stands for law enforcement. That's what we're going to be. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, I guess there is one more question. Damn it.
Look, my understanding of this is they have every right to move the funds around, duly appropriated dollars from Congress to the Department of Defense. There were some R&D accounts that had not been spent, and that's my understanding is that's the money that's being used to pay the troops right now. If the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay? I'm grateful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. You want to challenge this shit on us paying our troops that are fucking active and all this shit, whatever. We're not going to not pay them, okay? Stupid fucks. Of course they're going to be paid.
For a commander-in-chief who understands the priorities of the country, the necessity of national defense, and the urgency that we all feel and have voted for 8 times. Republicans have voted in Congress 8 times now between House and Senate to fund the troops and pay federal work.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never heard that RIF term before, but it was basically being laid off. Interesting.
In all these essential jobs and agencies, because we understand the necessity of that. Meanwhile, the Democrats voted 8 times to block their paychecks. I'm grateful we have a president who is willing to step up and do the right thing. Thank you all so much.
I agree. And he's ending with that right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you guys enough. We definitely have been doing long shows within the last couple of weeks, but this last, I've been trying to consolidate it into an hour. I always try to, but then there's always, today is a really good day. An hour and 10 minutes is actually not bad, but we've been going an hour and 30, hour and 45 on some of them. So I really appreciate you guys and your contributions to the channel, whether that be donations, like Wolfheim just sent in 27 Swedish crowns saying jazz tobacco, yes, sir. Or if it's you guys hitting that like button or engaging in the chat, I really appreciate you guys. So, Wolfheim, thank you so much for the 27 Swedish, my man. I very much appreciate you, kind sir. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and raid our buddy Carney's Ride. He's live right now, so make sure you guys stick around for that. Let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid and show him a little love over there. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out and hit the like button on the way in on his end. You know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness on our True Seeking adventure, as always, here on Insane Wheels. Always appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness. Till then, God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.